Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into some of Joe Dispenza's work.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you sent over some excerpts.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's pretty wild stuff. We're talking about rewiring our brains, overcoming limitations,
Right.
and maybe even like bending reality a little bit.
Yeah.
So, ready to dive in and see what this could all mean like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It is exciting to think about. What I think is so fascinating about Dispenza is how he blends, that scientific language with these almost like mystical experiences.
Right.
He's talking about brain scans and telomeres, but then he's also talking about people seeing like brighter colors and overcoming physical limitations.
Yeah.
So it really begs the question, like, where does that hard science end and that belief begin?
Right. Yeah. Is it all just like wishful thinking,
Yeah.
or is there something more there?
Yeah.
You've looked into this pretty deeply. What stands out to you?
Well, one of Dispenza's core ideas is this concept of coherence. And you can think of it like tuning an instrument.
Okay.
You want your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions to all be in harmony.
Okay.
And he suggests that when those three elements are aligned, we tap into a really powerful energy that can actually shape our reality.
Okay, so it's more than just positive thinking then.
Exactly.
You actually have to believe it and act on it.
You got it.
Okay.
He argues that our thoughts have a real tangible impact on our brains and bodies.
Mm.
And he uses this example of people visualizing their future so vividly that their brains actually start to look like it's already happened.
Wait, really? Just by thinking about it?
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to wrap my head around.
I know, right? It is a little out there.
Yeah.
But the idea of neuroplasticity, the fact that our brains can change
Right.
throughout our lives
Yeah.
is well established in science.
Right.
What Dispenza seems to be suggesting is that even imagined experiences can trigger these changes.
Okay.
That's like exercising your brain. The more you use certain pathways, the stronger they become,
Okay.
even if you're just imagining the action.
So if like I'm working towards a goal,
Yeah.
like let's say I want to get a promotion at work.
Okay.
Is he saying that just by visualizing myself in that new role could actually help me achieve it?
He would argue yes, especially if you combine that visualization with the right emotions.
Oh, okay.
See, Dispenza believes that emotions amplify our thoughts and give them more power to shape our reality.
So it's not just about picturing myself getting that promotion.
Uh-huh.
It's about feeling the excitement, the confidence, the
Yeah.
sense of accomplishment.
Exactly.
It comes with it.
You got it.
Okay.
He calls emotions the language of the subconscious mind. So by pairing our visualizations with those powerful feelings, we send a much stronger message to our brains and potentially to the universe as a whole.
That's pretty powerful stuff. But Dispenza also talks about the importance of self-love.
He does.
So how does that fit into all of this?
Well, he's really big on this idea of overcoming our limitations
Okay.
and how that process leads to like a deeper self-love.
Okay.
But he's not talking about self-love in that kind of superficial way.
Right.
It's not about, indulging in bubble baths or treating yourself to like expensive things.
Okay.
It's more about recognizing your inherent worthiness
Okay.
and loving yourself, even when you make mistakes or fall short.
So it's not about like those temporary fixes or that external validation.
Right.
It's more about building that inner strength and confidence that allows you to like achieve your goals.
You got it.
That's a great message. And it makes me think about his workshops.
Oh, yeah.
He describes them as these intense experiences where people are pushing their limits,
Yeah.
changing their behaviors,
Right.
and having these incredible breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Like there's that story about the nurse who regains her sight.
It's an incredible story to me.
That is.
But it's important to remember that it is just one anecdote. What's interesting to me is the role of belief in these stories.
Yeah, what's going on there? Are people just getting like swept up in the excitement of the workshop, or is there something deeper at play?
Well, the nurse didn't go into the workshop expecting to be healed.
Right.
She was focused on like learning to live with her condition.
Yeah.
But it seems like something shifted in her mindset during the workshop.
Okay.
Perhaps she started to believe that healing was possible,
Okay.
and that belief somehow triggered a change in her body.
So it's like you have to truly believe it's possible in order to unlock that potential.
Yeah.
That makes me think of what Dispenza says about the universe, giving us what we think we deserve.
Exactly. He suggests that our own self-worth might be the limiting factor.
Yeah.
If we don't believe we're worthy of health, wealth, happiness,
Yeah.
then we might be subconsciously blocking those things from manifesting in our lives.
This really makes you think about how powerful our minds could be.
It is powerful.
Like we're holding ourselves back without even realizing it.
Right.
What else did you find striking about these workshops?
Well, he really emphasizes creating a very specific environment.
Okay.
He talks about removing distractions,
Yeah.
separating people from their routines, and immersing them in this really intensive learning and experiential process.
Okay.
He combines lectures on neuroscience, epigenetics, quantum physics,
Wow.
all these complex fields,
Right.
with practical exercises that are designed to shift people's mindsets and behaviors.
But isn't there a risk there of people just getting caught up in the hype
Yeah.
without real results?
Sure.
I mean, some of this sounds pretty far out there.
It does, yeah. And I think it's important to approach any self-help program with, a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right.
But what's interesting is that Dispenza doesn't shy away from the science.
Yeah, I noticed that he really tries to ground his ideas in those scientific principles.
He does.
Yeah.
He believes that understanding the science strengthens the belief.
Okay.
And the belief, in turn, empowers the transformation.
Mm.
It's like building a solid foundation for change.
Right.
He's not just asking people to blindly follow him.
Okay.
He's encouraging them to understand the why behind what they're doing.
That makes sense.
Right.
He even talks about measurable physical changes
He does.
that people experience in the workshops, like brain scans showing increased coherence,
Yep.
changes in heart rate variability,
Right.
even evidence that people can lengthen their telomeres, those protective caps on our DNA that are associated with aging.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
He cites scientific research to back up these claims.
He even mentions strengthening the immune system by thought alone.
Right.
That's incredible.
The mind-body connection is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
We've known that for a long time.
Right.
But Dispenza's work seems to be pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Okay, so we've got the science, we've got the anecdotal evidence, and we've got this really inspiring vision of human potential.
Yeah.
But how does it all actually work?
Right.
What's going on in these workshops?
He talks about pushing people to overcome their limitations,
Okay.
to really challenge themselves.
Right.
He describes it as a process of overcoming
Right.
until you reach a point where you've fundamentally shifted your sense of self
Yeah.
and your belief in what's possible.
He uses a powerful analogy, too.
Oh, yeah.
Comparing these transformations to breaking the 4-minute mile.
I like that.
Like, once someone proves it can be done,
Yeah.
it opens up a whole new realm of possibility for everyone else.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the power of belief and the idea that we're capable of far more than we think.
So we've talked about the science, the workshops,
Right.
the incredible transformations,
Yeah.
but there's also this underlying message of interconnectedness
Yes.
and collective potential
Absolutely.
that runs throughout his work.
Uh,
It feels almost spiritual in a way.
it does. He talks about moving beyond the age of selfish individuality
Right.
and embracing a more collaborative, compassionate approach to human existence.
Okay.
He believes that by tapping into our collective consciousness,
Yeah.
we can achieve incredible things,
Like what?
like healing each other, solving global challenges,
Okay.
and creating a more harmonious world.
Wow. That's a big idea.
It is.
A world where we're all connected and working together for the greater good.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely a shift from the individualistic mindset that's so prevalent today.
It is, but imagine the possibilities.
Yeah.
He even talks about using these techniques to help children in hospitals.
Can you imagine the impact if this could actually work on a large scale?
And a tantalizing possibility.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where we could heal ourselves and each other
Right.
simply by changing our thoughts and beliefs.
It's almost too incredible to believe.
It is.
But then again, we've already heard about blind people regaining their sight
Right.
and people overcoming debilitating health conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
So perhaps the question isn't whether it's possible,
Yeah.
but rather what's stopping us from unlocking this potential. What beliefs, fears, or limitations are holding us back?
That's a really profound question.
It is.
And it brings us to the heart of Dispenza's work,
Okay.
challenging us to confront our own limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And to embrace the possibility that we are capable of far more than we currently believe.
He seems to suggest that the key lies in understanding the interconnectedness of our minds,
Okay.
our bodies, and the world around us.
It's like he's saying that we're all part of this vast interconnected web of
Yes.
energy and consciousness.
Yeah.
And by tapping into that connection, we can unlock a whole new level of potential.
He even uses quantum physics to try to explain this interconnectedness,
Okay.
suggesting that we're all entangled at a fundamental level.
That's getting pretty deep. But it does make you wonder if our thoughts and beliefs can actually influence the physical world around us.
Yeah.
Then what are we capable of achieving collectively?
That's a fascinating thought.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could harness the collective power of our minds to heal the planet,
Right.
to solve global poverty, to create a more peaceful and just world.
It sounds like science fiction.
It does.
But then again, so did many of the technologies we take for granted today.
That's true.
So maybe Dispenza is simply pointing us towards a future that's already within our reach.
He certainly makes a compelling case.
He does.
And even if you're skeptical of some of the more mystical aspects of his work,
Yeah.
it's hard to deny the power of belief and the impact that our thoughts can have on our lives.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the core question. What if we started living as if these extraordinary possibilities were not only possible,
Right.
but already within our grasp?
What if we approached our goals and challenges with the unwavering belief that we were already capable, already worthy,
Yeah.
already connected to this infinite source of potential?
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
And it leads us to the next phase of Dispenza's work.
Yep.
The practical steps we can take to cultivate this belief,
Right.
to rewire our brains,
Uh-huh.
and to unlock our hidden potential.
I like it.
And we'll dive into those in part 2.
So are you ready to explore some of these techniques for rewiring our brains and unlocking that hidden potential?
Absolutely. Let's get practical. Where do we even begin?
Right.
I mean, Dispenza throws around some pretty complex terms,
Yeah.
quantum fields, coherent energy,
Right.
even bending reality.
Yeah.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
He does love his scientific metaphors, but I think at its core,
Yeah.
his approach boils down to mastering our thoughts and emotions.
Oh, okay.
He believes that by consciously directing our attention and cultivating specific feelings, we can actually influence the energy around us
Okay.
and ultimately our reality.
So it's about more than just like positive thinking then.
Exactly. It's about aligning our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions.
Okay.
Remember that concept of coherence we talked about earlier?
Right.
It's like a three-legged stool.
Yeah.
If one leg is wobbly,
Yeah.
the whole thing becomes unstable.
Right.
When those three aspects are in sync,
Okay.
we create this really powerful, energetic state
Okay.
that can impact our internal and external worlds.
He talks a lot about meditation. Is that the key to achieving this coherence?
Meditation is definitely a cornerstone of his approach,
Okay.
but he emphasizes that it's not just about emptying your mind or relaxation,
Okay.
He teaches very specific meditations that are designed to shift brainwave states, cultivate specific emotions like gratitude and joy,
Okay.
and even visualize desired outcomes as if they've already happened.
So it's like active imagination,
Yeah.
but with a scientific twist.
Yes, and he backs it up with research showing how these practices can actually change brain activity,
Okay.
reduce stress hormones,
Right.
and even boost the immune system.
Wow. So you could,
Think about that for a second.
yeah.
You could potentially improve your health and well-being just by changing your thoughts and practicing meditation.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm curious about this visualization aspect, though.
Yeah.
He uses that example of people visualizing their future so vividly that their brains start to look like it's already reality.
Right. He believes that by repeatedly visualizing a desired outcome with intense emotion,
Okay.
we can essentially trick our brains into believing it's already happening.
Okay.
And as our brains change, so does our reality.
It sounds almost like magic.
It does, right?
Yeah.
But he insists it's grounded in science.
Well, how so?
He explains that neurons that fire together wire together.
Oh, okay.
So by repeatedly activating the neural pathways associated with a specific thought or feeling,
Right.
we strengthen those connections
Okay.
and make it more likely that those thoughts and feelings will manifest in our lives.
So we're essentially rewiring our brains
Exactly.
for success, happiness, whatever it is we're aiming for.
Precisely. And he suggests that this process is accelerated when we combine visualization with elevated emotions. You see, he says that emotions are the language of the subconscious mind.
Okay.
And by pairing our visualizations with powerful feelings like gratitude, joy, or love,
Right.
we supercharge the process.
So it's not just about picturing a big house or a successful career.
Yeah.
It's about feeling the joy of living in that house.
Yeah.
The fulfillment of achieving that career.
Yes. He emphasizes that the feelings are crucial.
Okay.
He says that energy flows where attention goes,
Right.
and emotion amplifies that energy flow.
Okay.
So the more intensely we feel the emotions associated with our desired outcome,
Right.
the more powerful our manifestation becomes.
Okay. So we've got meditation, we've got visualization, we've got elevated emotions.
Uh-huh.
What else is part of this like formula for transformation?
Well, he talks about the importance of taking inspired action.
Okay.
He says that once we've aligned our thoughts and feelings,
Right.
we need to take concrete steps towards our goals.
Okay.
But it's not about forcing things or struggling, He emphasizes the importance of following our intuition,
Okay.
listening to our inner guidance, and taking actions that feel aligned with our highest selves.
So it's like a delicate dance between surrendering to a higher power
Yeah,
and taking proactive steps towards our dreams.
exactly.
Yeah.
He suggests that when we're in a state of coherence,
Okay.
we naturally attract the people, the resources, and the opportunities we need
Okay.
to achieve our goal.
I love that idea.
Right.
He also talks about overcoming limitations, though.
He does.
He says that every time you overcome yourself a little bit more, the side effect is that you love yourself a little bit more.
That's a great quote.
It makes me wonder how much of our self-worth is tied up in what we accomplish.
That's such a great question, and I think it gets to the heart of Dispenza's message.
Okay.
He believes that personal growth and self-love are like intertwined.
Okay.
He encourages people to push beyond their comfort zones,
Yeah.
to face their fears, and to consistently strive to become the best versions of themselves. He argues that this process of overcoming challenges not only builds resilience,
Right.
but also deepens our self-worth.
It's like that saying, we are what we repeatedly do.
Exactly.
So if we repeatedly push ourselves to grow and overcome challenges,
Yeah.
doesn't it make sense that our self-perception would also change?
Makes total sense.
So it's about pushing ourselves to grow, but also recognizing and appreciating how far we've come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that self-love isn't about vanity or ego.
Right.
It's about recognizing our inherent worthiness
Okay.
and celebrating our unique gifts and talents.
That's a beautiful message. It sounds like his work is about so much more than just achieving material success,
It is.
It's about personal transformation, self-discovery, and ultimately living a life filled with purpose and meaning.
Exactly. He's offering a path towards not only achieving our goals,
Yeah.
but also becoming the kind of people who can create a better world.
Right.
It's an inspiring vision for sure.
It is. For a long time, I struggled with imposter syndrome.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't good enough,
Okay.
smart enough, or successful enough.
Yeah.
And then I started applying some of these principles, like focusing on my strengths,
Hmm.
celebrating my accomplishments,
Right.
and surrounding myself with positive people.
And did that make a difference for you?
It did. It wasn't like an overnight transformation or anything,
Sure.
but gradually I started to feel more confident,
Hmm.
more capable, and more worthy.
That's great.
And as my self-perception changed,
Yeah.
so did my reality.
Wow.
I started attracting more opportunities,
Hmm.
building stronger relationships,
See for you.
and feeling a deeper sense of fulfillment.
I'd love to hear that.
It's like Dispenza says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Such a good quote.
That's incredible. It's so inspiring to hear how you've been able to apply these principles in your own life.
Thanks.
So we've covered those core components of Dispenza's formula:
Yeah.
meditation, visualization, elevated emotions, inspired action, and overcoming limitations.
Right.
But how do people actually apply these principles in their lives?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
In his workshops.
Yeah.
He guides people through a series of really intense experiences that are designed to help them break free from those limiting beliefs, reprogram their subconscious minds,
Right.
and step into their full potential.
Wow.
He uses a combination of lectures, guided meditations,
Okay.
group exercises, and even movement and sound healing techniques.
And he describes these workshops as truly transformative experiences.
Each time.
People are reporting these incredible breakthroughs,
Yeah.
healing from chronic illnesses,
Right?
overcoming phobias, even manifesting dramatic changes in their relationships and careers.
It sounds like he's creating a space where people can really push their boundaries,
Yeah.
and explore the depths of their potential.
It does sound intense.
It does.
But also incredibly empowering.
It's like creating a temporary reality where anything feels possible.
Definitely. It seems like he's creating a space where people can tap into a deeper level of awareness,
Yeah.
connect with their inner power, and truly transform their lives from the inside out.
It makes you wonder, what if we all had access to this kind of transformative experience?
That's a great question, and it leads us to the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
exploring the potential impact of his work on a larger scale.
Right.
Can we really create a collective shift in consciousness?
Yeah.
And what would that even look like? Stay tuned, because we're about to explore the possibilities. Okay, so we've explored science, the techniques, the personal transformations, but
Yeah.
let's zoom out a bit. What's the bigger picture here? What could Dispenza's work mean for the world if it really took hold on like a large scale?
Right.
I mean, could we really see those like sci-fi kind of changes he talks about?
Well, Dispenza himself paints this picture of a future where humanity transcends its limitations, where we heal ourselves and each other, where we move past selfishness
Right.
and tap into a collective consciousness.
Yeah,
It's a grand vision,
it is.
almost utopian.
It makes you wonder if he's been watching a little too much Star Trek.
Maybe,
Like, definitely utopian, but is it even remotely possible? I mean, we're talking about a pretty massive shift in human behavior and awareness.
It's not going to happen overnight, that's for sure.
Right.
But what I think is interesting is that Dispenza's ideas resonate with a lot of ancient wisdom traditions.
Okay.
Concepts like interconnectedness,
Right.
the power of thought,
Yeah.
the idea that we create our own reality.
Yeah.
These aren't new ideas.
Right.
They've been around for centuries.
So maybe he's just repackaging these ancient ideas in a way that's more palatable to a modern, like, scientifically minded audience.
It's possible. He's certainly blending science and spirituality in a way that's appealing to a lot of people.
Right.
And whether or not you buy into the full scope of his vision,
Yeah.
I think there's something valuable in the idea that we can create a more positive future through our collective thoughts and actions.
Yeah. Even if it just inspires a few people to make positive changes in their own lives.
Right.
That's a step in the right direction, right?
Absolutely.
So let's play this out. What might a world shaped by Dispenza's ideas actually look like? What would change?
Well, for starters, imagine a healthcare system
Okay.
that focused on preventative care and empowering individuals to heal themselves.
Okay.
We see glimpses of this already, with
Okay.
the rise of mindfulness and alternative therapies.
Right.
But Dispenza takes it a step further.
Okay.
He's suggesting that we have the innate ability to heal even the most serious conditions.
That's a pretty bold statement. So instead of relying solely on doctors and medications,
Right.
we'd be tapping into our own inner healing power.
Exactly. And think about the implications for things like chronic pain and stress management.
Mm-hmm.
What if we could learn to regulate our own bodies and minds to like a greater degree?
Yeah.
It could really revolutionize the way we approach health and well-being.
And imagine the implications for global conflict.
Right.
If we truly believed in our interconnectedness and recognized the inherent worth of every human being,
Yeah.
would we be so quick to resort to violence and aggression?
That's a profound thought. It really challenges us to reconsider the very foundations of our societal structures and systems. One of the things I find most inspiring about his work is this idea that we're not just victims of circumstance.
Okay.
We have the power to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions.
Right.
And those choices have a ripple effect on the world around us.
It's like he's giving us permission to dream bigger, to believe in something better, to step into our power as creators.
Yeah,
I have to admit, I'm feeling a little more hopeful just thinking about it.
me too. And it's not just about peace and healing.
Yeah.
He talks about unlocking human potential on a massive scale.
Right.
Imagine a world where everyone is encouraged to discover their unique talents and pursue their passions
Yeah.
with unwavering belief and support.
Think about what we could achieve if we truly believed in ourselves and had a community of people cheering us on.
That's an inspiring vision.
It is a world where everyone is empowered to contribute their gifts and make a positive impact.
It's a world where collaboration and creativity flourish,
Yeah.
where innovation thrives,
Right.
and where we work together to solve global challenges
Right,
with
right.
ingenuity and compassion.
Okay, I'm getting goosebumps again just thinking about it.
It is exciting.
But let's be real for a second. This sounds amazing,
Yeah,
but it also feels incredibly idealistic.
sure.
There's a lot of darkness and division in the world right now. Can we really make that kind of leap?
You're right. We can't ignore the realities of human nature and the challenges we face.
Right.
But I think his work offers us a glimmer of hope.
Okay.
It suggests that even amidst the chaos,
Yeah.
we have the power to choose a different path,
Okay.
to create a more positive and fulfilling reality for ourselves and for future generations.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not just like passive bystanders in this grand cosmic play.
Right.
We have agency. We have the power to create change.
Exactly. And you know what? It doesn't have to be this huge, overwhelming thing.
Yeah.
It starts with each individual.
Right.
It starts with cultivating self-awareness,
Right.
challenging our limiting beliefs, and embracing the possibility that we are capable of far more than we currently believe.
Okay.
Maybe just pick one small thing you want to change in your life.
Right.
And start applying some of these principles, see what happens.
So it's not about waiting for some external force to save us or fix the world.
Right.
It's about taking responsibility for our own thoughts, our own energy, and our own actions.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we are all interconnected.
Yeah.
And that even the smallest act of kindness, compassion, or creativity can ripple outwards and create a positive impact on the world around us.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? What if you started living as if these extraordinary possibilities were not only possible, but already within your grasp? What if you approached your goals and challenges with unwavering belief in yourself and in the power of your own mind? It's a challenge for sure, but it might just be the most exciting adventure you ever embark on.
And who knows, maybe together we can create a future that's even better than we can imagine. Thanks for diving in with us.